بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علمك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We continue our discussion about الدليل الشرعي اللفظي, linguistic religious dalil, which means reference or resource. As you remember, we already discussed whether, because in dalil al-lafzi we need whether to designate, to fix a term for a meaning. That's whether. And we talked what is the reason that there is such dalala, such indication. Some people said it is as-sababiyyatu dhatiyya. They said there is essential relation between lafz and ma'na, term and meaning, and we didn't accept that. Some people said it's a matter of i'tibar, some people said it's a matter of iltizam, and as you remember, Shahid Sadr had the idea that it's a matter of tada'i ma'ani, association of the ideas. So now we want to study a distinction between two types of wada, two types of designating or coining a term for a meaning. Al-wad'u al-ta'yini wal-wad'u al-ta'ayyuni. Ta'yini is muta'addi. Ta'ayyun is lazim. Ta'yini means that someone defines. Ta'ayyun means it is defined. What's the difference? Sometimes a person is wazir, or a group or assembly, whatever, whoever is wazir makes this term or this structure or this caste, hay'a, whatever, for certain meaning. At once, in one majlis, one gathering, one session, he says, for example, whenever I say this, I mean this. Okay? For example, if I say computer, I mean this. Or when people have children and they give to their children, they give name. Yeah? Say, we call this Salaam alaikum Ali, Fatima, Zainab, and even sometimes they give walima, that they have given this name to the child. This is ta'yini. Okay? It means it is allocated, it is decided by someone who has authority. For example, I cannot give name to someone else's child. Yeah? Al-wad'u al-ta'ayyuni means that because of kathrat al-isti'mal, because of frequent usage, little by little it became known to everyone that we mean by this term this thing. You know that the city of Medina used to be called Yathrib. And there was no decision that, okay, from today we give it another name. We give it the name of Medina. No. They used to say Madinatun Nabi, Madinatun Nabi, Madinatun Nabi. And Medina meant city. But so much this was used for Yathrib that then whoever heard Al-Madinah, it brought to their mind Yathrib. So this is called وضع تعيني, means because of frequent usage. Okay? So الوضع التعييني والتعيني وقد قسم الوضع من ناحية سببه إلى تعييني وتعيني. وضع, designation, with according to this is page 56. According to the new edition that we are using is Darsul Ashir, lesson 10, page 56. If you don't have the book, you can. You have it? Oh, no, because we have now, alhamdulillah, the hard copy. So, الوضع تعييني والتعيني وقد قسم الوضع من ناحية سببه إلى تعييني وتعيني. Did you find it? With respect to its cause, وضع is divided into تعييني and تعيني. And it is said, فقيل إن العلاقة بين اللفظ والمعنى إن نشأت من جعل خاص فالوضع تعييني. They have said, if the relation between the term and meaning is originated from a specific ja'al, a specific making or intervention, a specific designation, somebody, some council, some assembly, some institution which has authority said, from now we use this term for this meaning. جعل خاص, a specific designation. فالوضع تعييني. وإن نشأت من كثرة الاستعمال. But if this علاقة, this relation between lafz and ma'na, between term and meaning, is originating from كثرة الاستعمال, from frequent usage, بدرجة توجب الألفة الكاملة بين اللفظ والمعنى. Frequent usage as much that would lead to al-ulfa. Ulfa means, pardon? Yeah, because ulfa sometimes means friendship, affection, but here means very close tie, between. Al-ulfa, al-kamila means perfect or complete connection, complete link between lafz and ma'na. فَالْوَضْعُ تَعَيُّنِي. So if this alaqa is originating from frequent usage, so much that it would create a very perfect connection and like friendship, relation between lafz and ma'na, this is called al-wad' al-ta'ayyun. Now, so far it is a standard. Everywhere you find this distinction. Ayatollah Sa'd rahmatullah alayhi says, if we believe that wada' is a matter of i'tibar or iltizam, because sababiyya it's rejected easily. There were 4 ideas, yeah? One was sababiyya, one was i'tibar, one was iltizam, one was tada'i ma'an. Sababiyya, we leave it, sababiyya al-dhatiyya, essential relation. We said that doesn't make sense because unless we know, we cannot understand. It's not that, there is an existential relation between lafz and ma'na. Remember? But i'tibar, that someone says, a'tabiru hadha al-lafz hadha al-ma'na. I consider this term for this meaning. Or iltizam means I am promising that whenever I want this meaning, I use this term. Okay. This اعتبار or التزام by itself cannot lead to that close relation between lafz and ma'na, to the extent that whenever we hear that lafz, that ma'na comes to our mind. But according to the view that we selected, Ayatollah Sa'd, he says, according to our view, that we say tada'i ma'ani, it makes lots of sense that if there is kathratul isti'mal, so if this term is used many times for that meaning, automatically, whenever we hear this, that meaning comes to our mind. This is waz'a ta'ayyuni. وَيُلَاحَظُ عَلَى هَذَا التَّقْسِيمِ. There is a consideration, a kind of objection about this, on this division.
So لماذا الobjection?
Pardon?
لماذا الobjection?
يلاحظ
لماذا؟
يلاحظ
لماذا؟
يلاحظ بأن الوضع إذا كان هو الاعتبار أو التعهد. If that or designation is اعتبار or it is تعهد. We explained this before. فلا يمكن أن ينشأ عن كثرة الاستعمال مباشرة. This cannot come as a result of frequent usage directly. You may use something in another meaning without that necessarily producing اعتبار أو التزام. لوضوح أن الاستعمال المتكرر لا يولد بمجرده اعتبارا ولا تعهدا. Because it is clear that repeated usage means repeated usage of the term in this meaning, لا يولد would not produce by itself, simply by itself, اعتبارا ولا تعهدا. So you cannot say just because we have used this, an اعتبار or تعهد is taking form. فلا بد من افتراض أن كثرة الاستعمال تكشف عن تكون هذا الاعتبار أو التعهد. So we must assume that frequent usage is not producing, it is تكشف, not تولد. It's not producing, it's discovering. And تكون هذا الاعتبار أو التعهد. It's telling us, it's discovering for us that such i'tibar or such ta'ahud, iltizam, promise has taken form. فالفرق بين الوضعين في نوعية الكاشف عن الوضع. So the difference between ta'yini and ta'ayyuni would be only about what type of kashif, what type of sign, what type of indicator you have for waz'a. If it is kathratul isti'mal, that helps you to understand waz'a, it is ta'ayyuni. If it is not kathratul isti'mal, it is ta'ayyuni. وهذه الملاحظة لا ترد على ما ذكرناه في حقيقة الوضع. This objection, this consideration, this reservation, this objection would not come based on what we said about reality of waz'a. What was this idea that we mentioned? من أنه القرن الأكيد بين تصور اللفظ وتصور المعنى. القرن الأكيد. قرن, as we said before, is link. Very, قرين, مقارنة, all this. Akid means strong, emphasizing. Qarnul Akid is very strong connection. We said that Waz is close link بين تصور اللفظ وتصور المعنى, conceiving the term and conceiving the meaning. فإن حالة القرن الأكيد تحصل بكثرة الاستعمال أيضا. We can say this close and strong link can happen because of frequent usage. There is no problem in this. But the problem with i'tibar, nazariyatul i'tibar and nazariyatul iltizam was that it's not possible to explain how kathratul isti'mal produces iltizam or i'tibar. Therefore, we had to say kathratul isti'mal only it's kashif, not muwallid. But according to Tada'i Ma'ani, it's very clear that we can say kathratul isti'mal tuwallidu tilka al-'alaqa or dhaka al-qarn al-akid. That strong relation. هذه الملاحظة لا ترد على ما ذكرناه في حقيقة الواقع. This objection does not come based on what we have said about the reality of waz designation, and that was that waz is close link between comprehending or conceiving lafz and conceiving ma'na. فإن حالة why this objection does not come there? Because this condition of al-qarn al-akid, حالة al-qarn al-akid, this condition of close link, تحصل بكثرة الاستعمال أيضا. It can happen with ta'yin, it can happen with كثرة الاستعمال. لأنها, because كثرة الاستعمال تؤدي leads to تكرر الاقتران إلى تكرر الاقتران بين تصور اللفظ وتصور المعنى, to the repetition of connection between conceiving term and conceiving the meaning. فيكون القرن بينهما أكيدا بهذا التكرر. The connection between these two becomes strong with this repetition إلى أن يبلغ إلى درجة تجعل أحد التصورين صالحا لتوليد التصور الآخر, to the extent that it becomes so strong that makes thinking of one of them qualified to produce at-tasawwur al-akhar, the other concept. فَيَتَمُّ بِذَلِكَ الْوَضْعُ التَّعَيُّنِي. With this, وضع التعيني becomes complete. Is it clear? Yes. So, let me give you again a summary. Some of you maybe join later. So, a very standard classic distinction in every book of usul is that al-wad'u imma ta'yini or ta'ayyuni. Waz is either decided at once or it is something that develops and takes form over time with frequent usage. I gave you example for both. For example, we say, okay, we call this computer. We call this phone. We call this Zainab. We call this person Ali. So these are all ta'yini. Ta'yuni is frequent usage. So, for example, Medina is something that over time has taken form. Ayatollah Shahid Saad Rahmatullah says, if now we go back to those theories about waqf, we mentioned 4 theories. The first theory is very obvious that it is wrong. Ad-dalala as-sababiyya al-dhatiyya. To say that there is a real relation between them, it's not acceptable. But the other view was i'tibar, means someone considers this lafzul ma'na. Another one was iltizam, someone commits himself that whenever I mean this, I use this term. these two, Shahid says, there is a problem here. How frequent usage? For example, we kept using Medina for Yathrib, but this does not produce i'tibar. This does not produce iltizam. Just because we have been applying this term to this, it doesn't mean that we wanted to promise that every time we say Medina, we mean this. So you must say that already through another way, there was this connection, and we now discover it from Kathratul Istimal. The Kathratul Istimal becomes kashif. But according to Shahid San's view, which was the fourth theory, that it is a matter of association of ideas, Nazariyat Tada'i al-Ma'ani, when two things, you have seen them a lot, then as soon as you think of one of them or you see one of them, the other one comes to your mind. It makes lots of sense to say that this can be a result of Kathratul Istimal, which we need in Waz Ta'ayyuni, because Waz Ta'ayyuni is Kathratul Istimal. So when you keep using Medina for Madinatul Nabi, for Yathrib, if people 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, thousands of people keep using, say Madinatul Nabi, Madinatul Nabi, Madinatul Nabi. When they hear Medina, it comes to mind Madinatul Nabi, the city of Yathrib. Okay. Now we go to the next discussion. The title is this: توقف الوضع على تصور المعنى. وضع depends on conceiving the meaning. Because what is wad'? To allocate a term to a meaning. تعيين اللفظ للمعنى. Okay? So, can you designate a term for a meaning without conceiving that meaning? Is it possible? Definitely not possible. You have to have both lafz and meaning in your mind. For example, you consider this machine and you say it is computer, but you should have something in your mind as computer. Yeah? It cannot be empty. It cannot be blank. So, توقف الوضع على تصور المعنى. Maybe you remember we had this discussion before. Usuliyun say there are 4 options. Sometimes the meaning for which we are designating the term is khas, is a specific, it's particular, and sometimes it is am, it is general. Khas and am, a specific and particular. This is ma'na. On the other hand, waz' is also khas or am, means either you also consider it as general or as a specific thing. 2 in 2 makes how many? 4. So we can think of 4 options. Wad' is either am or khas. Ma'na is also am or khas. So we can have 4 options. So either you consider something specifically or general, and then the meaning for which you want to use it is also a specific or general. So we can conceive 4 options. But one of them is controversial. And I will explain. The first type, al-wad'u al-'am wal-mawdu'u lahu al-'am. or al-wad'u al-'am wal-ma'na al-'am. Al-wad'u al-'am mawzu' lahu 'am. You consider something general and designate the term also for that general concept. Like asma'ul ajnas. When you say baqar, shajar, hajar, rajul, tamr, lafz is am and ma'na is also am. Sometimes lafz is khas and ma'na is also khas. Like we call this person Zayd. We call this city London. Al-wad'u khasun wal-ma'na idhan khas. Sometimes al-wad'u amun wal-ma'na or mawdu'u lah khasun. Okay, al-wad'u amun wal-mawdu'u lah khasun. Means you consider something general, but it is used for specific cases.
What's the khas?
Al-wad'u al-am wal-mawdu'u lah al-khas. So, al-wad'u al-am mawdu'u lah khas. Al-wad'u al-khas mawdu'u lah khas. Al-wad'u al-am mawdu'u lah khas. This is the third option. For example, about ma'aniya harfiyah, about letters, propositions. When you say fi, ila, hatta, you consider a general thing. For example, you say fi للظرفية, إلى لانتهاء الغاية, من لابتداء الغاية. So you consider something general. But إلى, من, and fi can only be used in particular context. The meaning of fi is not ظرفية. ظرفية is معنى اسمي, is kulli. But the meaning of fi is معنى الحرفي, it is جزئي. We are talking about particular case of ظرفية. جالس في المسجد. This julus in mosque, this in mosque is understood by fi. You cannot say جالس ظرفية المسجد. Yeah? Zarfiyya is general. We want something particular that connects between julus and masjid. So this is called al-wad'u al-'am wal-mawdu'u lah khas. The fourth option is opposite to the third. Al-wad'u al-khas wal-mawdu'u lah 'am. They say this is not possible. Because if you can consider something general, so why then you have to consider a specific thing? Consider general. Because considering general is not more difficult than considering khas. It's the other way around. Khas are too many and sometimes we have to consider general. For example, fi. There are millions of sentences in which fi can be used. It's very difficult to consider all of them. We say, okay, zarfiyya. We use a general title, but we use it for particular cases of zarfiyya. But the other way around doesn't make sense. That you consider something specific for a general meaning. Yeah? We can use something general to go to point at particulars. But the other way around doesn't make sense. You are just making it more difficult for you. وَيُشْتَرَطُ فِي كُلِّ وَضْعٍ يُبَاشِرُهُ الْوَاضِعُ أَنْ يَتَصَوَّرَ الْوَاضِعُ الْمَعْنَى الَّذِي يُرِيدُ أَنْ يَضَعَ اللَّفْظَ لَهُ. In every designation, that wadi', the one who designates, yubashirhu, undertakes it and takes it for himself to do it. Mubashara means to do something by yourself. You remember we had fa'il mubashir, fa'il bitasbib. Sometimes a person kills someone, sometimes a person says another person to kill. This is, if he kills himself, it's fa'il mubashir. If he kills but through an agent, this is fa'il bit tasbib. Okay? يشترط في كل وضع يباشره الواضع أن يتصور الواضع المعنى الذي يريد أن يضع اللفظ له. In every designation that the designator undertakes, it is conditioned, it is needed that واضع should conceive the meaning that he wants to designate the term for that meaning. You cannot say, I am designating this term, but I don't know for what. I am giving this name, but I don't know where is the child, which child. Yeah? Can you say, for example, we give this name to an unknown child? You cannot. So there is a condition that he must يتصور الواضع المعنى الذي يريد أن يضع اللفظ. He must conceive the meaning that he wants to designate the term for it. لأن الوضع بمثابة الحكم على المعنى واللفظ. Because designation is a matter of hukm. You are issuing like a verdict. You are making a decision about both lafz and meaning. It has two terms. You know, it's like, for example, you have a box and you put something inside box. Yeah, you have this term and you are putting this meaning in that term. You cannot say, I only conceive the box. You should also conceive what you want to put in this box. Yeah? Or you say, no, I am making a traffic sign. We say, ask you for what? Say, I don't know for what. Then it cannot be a sign. Always, sign needs something that this is going to indicate. كل حاكم لا بد له من استحضار موضوع حكمه عند جعل ذلك الحكم. Every hakim, everyone who is judging or making a verdict, must bring the subject of his hukm when he wants to make that hukm. You say, I want to make this lafz for this meaning. You cannot say, I want to make this lafz, but I don't know for what. Like a judge who says, I want to send to prison for 5 years. Whom? I don't know. You remember we said, sometimes people, for example, about hope, when we talked about hope, we said we cannot say in the discussion about fitra that I have hope, but I don't know who is mahbub. You remember? I told you, someone said to his parents, I have fallen in love, please go and arrange my marriage. Yes. And they said, it's early for you, but if you have really fallen in love, tell us and we are going to propose marriage. So, who is that person? He said, any person. He just wanted to get married. So, this is not love. Love cannot belong to an unknown. You remember we said in Burhan al-Fitra, the teacher of Imam Khomeini, Ayatollah Shahbadi, says, one argument for the existence of God is that because we have in us love for absolute beauty or things like this, so that must exist. This is where we discuss this. Yes. So, كل حاكم لا بد له من استحضار موضوع حكمه عند جعل ذلك الحكم. Everyone who is a judge, a ruler, either he's making a judgment or making a verdict, must istihdar, means must call, must bring the subject of its hukm when he wants to make that hukm, that verdict or that judgment. Okay, so we need to have tasawwur al-lafz, tasawwur al-ma'na. تصور المعنى تارة يكون باستحضاره مباشرة وأخرى باستحضار عنوان منطبق عليه. Sometimes we conceive that meaning by bringing him مباشرة, means bringing it itself, bringing it directly. There is nothing as a kind of intermediary, something that is between you and that. Yeah, you consider it directly, مباشرة. وأخرى. Pardon? Where is muntabiq? I haven't yet read that. تصور المعنى تارة يكون باستحضاره مباشرة. Sometimes we conceive meaning by bringing that meaning itself, مباشرة means directly, without anything in between us and that meaning. وأخرى means تارة أخرى. And sometimes باستحضار عنوان منطبق عليه. Instead of bringing the meaning, because there might be too many cases, we bring a general title, a general concept, a general عنوان that would be applicable to that case. وملاحظته بما هو حاكٍ عن ذلك المعنى. And we consider that عنوان, that general title, as something that would convey for us or discover for us that meaning. Okay, now based on what we have said, that we need to have tasawwur al-lafz, tasawwur al-ma'na, and this ma'na can be either mubashir or an tariq inwan muntabiq alayh, we can say, okay, now this condition of tasawwur happens in three conditions. There are three types. هذا الشرط, which shart? The shart was تصور المعنى. يتحقق في ثلاثة حالات. This shart materializes, is completed in three conditions. الأولى means الحالة الأولى أن يتصور الواضع معنى كليا. واضع, the designator, conceives, تصور, conceive, yeah? He conceives معنى كليا, a general meaning, a general notion. كالإنسان, he thinks about humanity. Is humanity a specific or general? It's general. ويضع اللفظ بإضائه, he considers humanity, which is general, and designates the term insan for that general concept. يضع اللفظ بإضائه means بإضائه means corresponding to that, puts this term. يسمى بالوضع العام والموضوع له العام. This is وضع عام and موضوع له عام. Why وضع is عام? Because insan is general. موضوع له is عام because humanity, which is the meaning of insan, is general. We didn't say Zayd, Amr, Bak, which is a specific. We said insan, the general term. Meaning is also humanity, general. Insan, general. Humanity, general. Al-wad'u, al-am, wal-mawdu'u lahu al-am. Okay? Both of them are am. Thaniyah, أن يتصور الواضع معنى جزئيا كزيد ويضع اللفظ بإضائه. He considers a particular meaning and puts also a specific term for that specific meaning. Everything is specific, everything is khas. يسمى بالوضع الخاص والموضوع له الخاص. These two are straightforward because both of them are the same. وضع العام موضوع له العام or وضع الخاص موضوع له الخاص. Third, أن يتصور الواضع عنوانا مشيرا إلى فرده. This عنوان مشير we had before, if you remember. عنوان مشير means a general title that refers to something. Okay, for example, there is someone sitting in the corner. I say, the person in the corner. I am talking to you, the person in the corner. So the person in the corner is a general title, but I am meaning one particular person. Yeah? So this is أن يتصور الواضع عنوانا مشيرا إلى فرد, conceives a title which hints or points at its instance, individual. ويضع اللفظ, and then designates the term for that fard, for that individual or instance which was considered through that title which was indicating. So you have a general title, or the one who is in the corner, but through this you wanted that person who is, for example, 20 years old sitting there. يسمى بالوضع العام والموضوع له الخاص. وهناك حالة رابعة. Now you can guess. The fourth would be opposite to the third. وضع الخاص موضوع له العام. They said this is not making sense. Because if your meaning is am, so you can consider that am. Why you consider something specific? Am can be applied to khas, but khas cannot be applied to am. If I say insan and mean Zaid, it's okay. But if I say Zaid and I mean insan, it's wrong, because if I say Zaid, then it cannot be applied to Amr and Bakr. Yeah? Zaid cannot be general insan. Insan can be Zaid and Bakr, but Zaid or Amr and Bakr cannot be used for insan, because they are specific. وهناك حالة رابعة لا يتوفر فيها الشرط المذكور. And there is a fourth condition in which that condition, the fourth condition in which that shart, this condition and that condition are different. Hala and shart. In English we say condition, but that's different. So there is fourth, you can say scenario.
Condition and situation.
Yes, exactly. Or there's a situation, fourth situation in which that condition, which condition? That you must have tasawwur ma'na. ويطلق عليها اسم الوضع الخاص والموضوع له العام. Opposite to the third. وهي أن يتصور الفرد, to conceive the particular, the instance, ويضع اللفظ لمعنى جامع. أن يتصور means يتصور الواضع الفرد ويضع اللفظ لمعنى جامع. Considers the instance but designates the term for a general meaning. هذا مستحيل. This is impossible. Why? Because general can be used to refer to individuals. I can say insan to someone particular, but I cannot say Zaid and I mean general insan. وهذا مستحيل الوضع الخاص والموضوع له العام is impossible. لأن الفرد والخاص ليس عنوانا منطبقا على ذلك المعنى الجامع ليكون مشيرا إليه, because that fard, that particular, that instance, is not a general title that can be applied to that arm. You cannot say Zayd and you say I use Zayd as a title to refer to humanity. فالمعنى الجامع في هذه الحالة لا يكون مستحضرا بنفسه ولا بعنوان مشير إليه ومنطبق عليه. That معنى جامع, that general concept, which is your معنى, because you are talking about موضوع al-am, that general concept is not brought by itself, and it's not brought by something general that can be applied to it. You must have tasawwur al-ma'na. You must do istihdar al-ma'na, bring meaning to the mind, either directly or through something more general that can be applied to it as a case. But here we don't have any of them. Okay, now let's give you examples. مثال الحالة الأولى. Example for the first situation, first condition. الوضع العام والموضوع له العام. أسماء الأجناس. اسم الجنس, the plural is أسماء الأجناس. You know اسم الجنس, the meaning is plural, but the term is not plural. Okay? Kitab is not plural. Kitab is singular, is mufrad. But the meaning is plural. Kitab is ism jins, means it can be applied to many books. But it's different from plural, because plural has to be always plural of a singular. Yeah? So you say kitab, kutub. Kutub is plural. But why kitab is general? Because it's ism jins. So technically you cannot say this is jama'. Kitab is not jama'. Kitab is mufrad, but it is ismul jins. Sometimes you can say ismul jins al-jam'i, but it's not jama'. Because jam is either mukassar or jam is sahih salim with vav. You know, for example, you say alimun or ya'unun or alifuta. This jam is salim. But this is not jam. Kitab, rajul, shajar, tamr. These are not baqar, fil. These are ism jam. And the difference is that mufrad is the basis. From mufrad we make jam. But if you want to say one, for example, date, you say tamra. So you add ta'i wahda to tamra. So you make wahid from tamr. But plural is taken from mufrad. Mufrad, plural, but ismul jins, and then you take wahid. Okay? Sarf, you must have studied this. Tumur is plural for tamr. But if you want to say just tamr, tamr is not plural, although it can be applied to many. Yes? ومثال الحالة الأولى أسماء الأجناس. So for وضع العام موضوع له عام أسماء الأجناس. Like examples I give. ومثال الحالة الثانية الوضع الخاص والموضوع له الخاص. الأعلام الشخصية. Proper nouns. For example, we say Zayd. This is Zayd. This child, we call him Maryam. Sammaytuha Maryam. Yeah? So this is particular. وأما الحالة الثالثة, the third situation or condition, which was وضع عام موضوع له الخاص فقد وقع الخلاف في جعل الحروف مثالا لها. There has been a disagreement about making huruf example for it. What is huruf? Not letters, means like propositions. Yeah, huruf means like huruf al-jar, huruf al-nasab. This huruf, not letters. Yes. وسيأتي الكلام عن ذلك في بحث مقبل inshallah. A discussion will be inshallah coming later. We will talk about معنای حرفی inshallah later. He doesn't say the fourth because we said fourth is impossible. We don't need to give example for it because it's impossible. Yeah, al-waz'u al-khas wal-mawzu'u lah al-am, it's impossible. Okay. So this was توقف الوضع على تصور المعنى. The next is توقف الوضع على تصور اللفظ, because we have to consider both of them. You have to consider lafz and ma'na. Hakim, when it was to make a hukm, has to consider both sides.
It should be like the meaning. Meaning depends on conceiving the word.
No, waz requires conceiving lafz and also conceiving ma'na. So for designation, you have to consider term and you have to consider meaning. Both of them you need. About meaning we talked. Now we want to talk about lafz. How are you going to conceive lafz? For example, you say Zayd, Amr, Bak, Fi, Ela. How are you going? كما يتوقف الوضع على تصور المعنى. In the same way that designation depends on conceiving the meaning, كذلك يتوقف على تصور اللفظ. Also, it depends on conceiving the term. Is it clear?
Yeah.
إما بنفسه فيسمى الوضع شخصيا وإما بعنوان مشير إليه فيسمى الوضع نوعيا. Either we consider lafz by itself and we call this type of waz shakhsi, personal, particular. So it means that lafz itself is considered. Like most of the time, Zayd, Amr, Bak, Rajul, Shaj, all these things that they have allocated for meanings, they consider the lafz itself.
All proper nouns would be that case?
Pardon?
All proper nouns would be that?
Proper nouns and even general nouns. ومثال الأول وضع أسماء الأجناس. Even أسماء الأجناس, like, you know, Tamr, Shajar, Had, all is the same. مثال الثاني. This is very important. Sometimes you don't think of particular lafz. For example, you say anything in this cast can be indicating the doer. Everything, for example, ala wazn al-fa'il can be the doer. It can be katib, alim, zarib, jalis, waqif, qatil. But we don't need to consider all of them one by one. We just say the cast, the wazn. But in order to mention it, we have to use something. So we say fa'il. So we consider fi'l. So although fi'l by itself has a meaning, fa'ala means to do. But here we use it as a raw material, you know, as a kind of template, you can say. I think template is a good term. As a template that then in future you can use it for your own case. Maf'ul. Maf'al, for example, mif'al, ism fa'il, masdar mimi, ism maf'ul. We make templates. How do we make templates? We consider lafz, but not specifically, in a general way. وَمِثَالُ الثَّانِي, when it is not specific, it is, وَزْء النَّوْعِي, it is something which is mushir. وَزْعُ الْحَيْئَةِ الْمَحْفُوظَةِ فِي ضِمْنِ كُلِّ أَسْمَاءِ الْفَاعِلِينَ لِمَعْنَى هَيْئَةِ اسْمِ الْفَاعِلِ. We say that this hay'a means this structure, this cast, this cast that we have it in all asma al-fa'il, we say it is for the meaning of ism fa'il, the doer. فَإِنَّ الْهَيْئَةِ لَمَّا كَانَتْ لَا تَنْفَصِلُ فِي مَقَامِ التَّصَوُّرِ عَنِ الْمَادَّةِ. When I want to think and I want to talk to you about that hay'a, I cannot just say wazn without having a template. I have to put few letters as example. So I say fa'il. So we have agreed that for all awzan, we say fa'il. Fa'ala yaf'alu, af'ala yuf'ilu, if'al, fa'ala yuf'ilu, taf'il. So we use fa'ala, fa'in, lam just because we have to have something. But this is not important. You can put your own verb inside this. Anything you can put inside. فَإِنَّ الْهَيْئَةِ لَمَّا كَانَتْ لَا تَنْفَصِلُ فِي مَقَامِ التَّصَوُّرِ عَنِ الْمَادَّةِ. That structure, that cast, because in thinking, in comprehending, cannot be separated from madde. Madde, that root, like fa'ala, qatala, that madde. وَكَانَ مِنَ الصَّعْبِ. So on the one hand, we had to have madde. And it was difficult and maybe even impossible. إِحْضَارُ تَمَامِ الْمَوَادِ. To bring all the material, all the, like all the verbs. How many times we had to make ism fa'il? Say, okay, qatil means this, jalis means this, waqif means this, katib means this, sha'ir means this. We don't do like that. We say fa'il means the doer. Then whatever you want, you can put in this cast. كان من الصعب, it was difficult, إحضار تمام المواد عند وضع اسم الفاعل, because it was difficult to put all mawad when you want to designate اسم فاعل اعتاد الواضح. So the designator is used to, اعتاد from عادت means habit, is used to أن يحضر الهيئة, to bring that cast, but في ضمن مادة معينة, a specific مادة كفاعل. He used that's as example. This fa'ala is not important for us. You can use anything, but for the sake of convenience, we always use this fa'ala. وَيَضَعُ كُلَّ مَا كَانَ عَلَى هَذِهِ الْوَتِيرَةِ لِلْمَعْنَى الْفُلَانِي. Then he says, everything which is on like this, in this pattern, it is ism fa'il. Everything this pattern is ism maf'ul. Everything this pattern is ism al-ala, sigha mubalagha. فَيَكُونُ الْوَضْعُ نَوْعِيًّا. So waz' here is not shakhsi, it's naw'i. Because shakhsi was particular lafz. Here we are not talking about particular lafz, it's a particular hayya, it's a general hayya. Okay? So, for waz' we need to conceive both lafz and both ma'na. With respect to lafz, there are two possibilities. Al-waz'u al-naw'i, al-waz'u al-shakhsi. Naw'i means that lafz is understood in a general way, is conceived in a general way. Shakhsi is the specifically. With respect to ma'na, also we said, ma'na has to be a specific or general. Vaz also can be understood general for that ma'na. I mean, you consider something general for a general, consider something specific for a specific, or general for a specific, but not a specific for general. So alhamdulillah, this also finished. The next discussion is about majaz, about metaphor. But I think we leave it, inshallah, for another session. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
I remember when you taught this chapter last time, I was confused. Now it is much clearer.
It's clear? Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Sheikh, in the last book, did you mention that with the fourth example,